Morning, everyone.
Morning.
You're very welcome today. My name is Clodagh Byrne. I'm the Mature Student Officer in college. I know I've met some of you on my travels and some of you have been in to see me, so I'm delighted that you made it back today to attend our open day. For those of you who I haven't met before, you have my details on screen there, my phone number, my email address and the Mature Student website. You're very welcome. If after today, having had a chance to talk to the staff here in Trinity and indeed myself, if you have any queries or any questions that arise afterwards, please do not hesitate to give me a call or drop me an email. So really what we're going to focus on today is the importance of research in this whole process. We'll have a quick look at the mature student application process, and we have a new online application form, and we'll work through that. We only have about 25 minutes, so it will be very brief, but we'll do our best to cover as much information as we possibly can. I think when you're making an application as a mature student, course research is really, really important, and that's why you're here today. You're interested in finding out more about the course you're going to be applying for. It will enhance your application, and it is really important that you study the prospectus very, very well. You have a really good look at the Trinity website. The Trinity website obviously has a lot more information than the prospectus, which probably only has a page or so devoted to the course you're interested in. The Trinity website will have a wealth of information and further contact details. If you want to get in touch with personnel from the various different courses, you're welcome to do that. The schools and the staff and students, you've access to staff here today, so I'd say if you haven't been to the information stand of the courses you're interested in, then please don't leave without at least having talked to some staff and students about the course. I think it's a very valuable opportunity today, and we hope that you take up on that. So just in terms of the course research, I think it's also important to have a look at the financial research, and you know, is going to college for 4 years a financial, possibility for you? We have the fees. Are you eligible for free fees? So that's a question that you should, if you haven't got answered for yourself today, or you're not quite sure, that's something you should find out. How will you fund, if you're not eligible for free fees, how will you fund a 4-year degree programme, where all our degrees here in Trinity, our level 8 honours degrees, are 4 years in duration? So how will you fund that? Look into grants. There's an excellent website, studentfinance.ie. If you've got any queries about finance or indeed social welfare, grants, etc., I would recommend that you check that out. And if you've any queries, the citizens' information are fantastic. They come in and talk to our incoming mature students every year about issues to do with finance. They would be able to deal with any queries you have, and I'd recommend that you get in touch with them if at all possible. And then again, just to consider the impact of college life. This is pretty straightforward, but it is important. Oftentimes what impacts on students, mature students' experience here in college, is not the academic content of the course, but it's the outside influences and so, for example, do you have the support of your family and friends, which is really, really important? Childcare, the practical issues. Who will look after your children? Do you have a quiet space to study at home? And do you have other important responsibilities that might impact on your study here at college? If you've been researching into the courses, you'll know that some of the courses in the arts and humanities would have short contact hours, and people say that looks to me like a part-time programme, but all of our programmes are full-time. And really you're treating it like a full-time job. So if you have extra responsibilities, you just have to question whether you can incorporate those into your degree programme here in Trinity as well. In terms of the application process then, there are 2 application forms, as I'm sure you're aware of. We have the CAO, the Central Applications Office, cao.ie, and we have the TCD Supplementary Online Application Form. And the TCD Supplementary Online Application Form will be open next Monday to accept applications, so that's great. And the deadline for both the CAO and the Trinity Supplementary Online Application Form is the 1st of February. And please note that we will not be accepting any late applications from mature students. In terms of the application process then, we do interview, but we don't interview everyone. We will shortlist and we will call people to interview. And the interviews usually take place around March to May time. As soon as the interviews have concluded, the staff will make a decision on who they're going to offer a place to. So we will notify all applicants, all successful applicants, by the end of May. And then the CAO offers come out then in early July. So it's really, really important to watch deadlines, particularly the 1st of February deadline, deadlines in terms of notifying us whether or not you're going to accept your place here, and the CAO deadline, often the 1st of July, people are away on holidays and so on. It's important to be aware that you must accept that CAO offer that's your official offer from college. You must accept that. You can do it from anywhere. It's online. You can log in wherever you are. But just please note those deadlines and keep all of your documentation together. Now, there are some exceptions to the 2 application rule, and that is if you're applying to nursing. If you're applying to nursing or midwifery, course in the School of Nursing and Midwifery, you apply to the CAO only, so you do not have to complete the supplementary online application form. It's the CAO only. And for more information on exceptions, please refer to, I hope you all have the Mature Guidelines booklet there that's available from the admission stand. If you don't, please collect one after this talk. And on page 5 of that, there are other exceptions to the CAO, to the CAO and supplementary process. For most courses in Trinity, there are no specific requirements for mature applicants. So we don't say you have to have X number of points or this subject or that subject, but there are, again, specific requirements for some subjects, and there are exceptions to that. I've listed a couple of them there. For psychology, all applicants to psychology will have to sit an aptitude test. That takes place in February time. So the 1st of February is the deadline. Usually before the end of February, then we invite all psychology applicants in to sit the aptitude test. If you're interested in doing something like integrated engineering or computer science, you would have to have a very high level of maths. So we look for Leaving Cert higher level C or equivalent. So if you're not doing Leaving Cert, but you're doing a course now that has a maths component, it may qualify, it may be deemed to be equivalent. So it's worth, again, checking that out. So there are other exceptions there, but I'd please ask you to look at page 6 of the Mature Student Guidelines for more details. For those of you who are interested in applying to medicine, we do accept mature applicants to medicine, and applicants must present a grade B and a grade C in biology and physics or chemistry. So we need the biology, and you have to have the physics or chemistry at higher Leaving Cert level. So you have to have a B and C in 2 of those science subjects to be deemed to meet the minimum entry requirements for entry to medicine. And then, as with all applicants to medicine, you must sit the HPAT Ireland aptitude test. And as you can see there, that test will take place this year on the 2nd of March 2013. So just some general information then with regard, now this is relating to the online application process, so it does exclude those of you who are interested in applying for nursing and midwifery. If there are applicants here, or students, prospective students here interested in studying nursing and midwifery but are interested in studying other courses in college, well then this would apply. You must have a valid CAO number to make an application to Trinity on the online application form. So you must apply to the CAO in advance and have your CAO number. You must create a TCD account. So we have mytcd.ie. You go in there and you create an account for yourself, okay? And just to say as well that mature applicants to Trinity will be considered for 3 Trinity courses, and 3 courses only. So I'm sure those of you who had a look at the CAO at this point will know that you can apply on the CAO for up to 10 courses. But you will only be able to apply for 3 courses in Trinity, so you might use your options, your other 7, to apply for courses in other colleges. But the courses that you have on your CAO, they must correspond to the courses that you've applied for on the online application form, the supplementary form. Okay, so to make that application, the supplementary online application, you must go to www.tcd.ie/courses, and then you pick the specific course that you're applying for and you select Apply Now. Okay, and just to note as well that you may be familiar with the change of mind facility on the CAO. That will not be open to you as a mature applicant for Trinity anyway. You will not be able to change your mind. So once you submit your online application form, they are the courses that you will be considered for. You can, however, use the change of order facility on the CAO, which means you can move things up and down from your first preference, second preference, and so on. You may not need to do that, but it might be something you want to do later on in the process. So to have a look then at the supplementary online application form, the first section of the form relates to your personal details, which is pretty straightforward. And I've just got the date of birth up there because to be a mature applicant, prospective mature applicant, you must be 23 years of age on the 1st of January in the year of application. If your birthday is on the 2nd or 3rd of January, I'm afraid you'll have to wait till the next year to apply. So the date of birth is really, really important. There's a question there, permission to contact. It will be helpful if you selected yes to that, if we need to contact you. And your full name and address. We will be liaising with you obviously through the process, so it's important that all of the details are full and complete on the application form. And there's a question there relating to EU status. Do you have EU status? You must have EU status to be considered a mature applicant. So I'd ask you in advance of completing the form to have a look at page 2 of the Mature Student Guidelines, where there's more detailed information. They do ask you on this section for your CAO number, so you must have that to hand and you must complete it, fill it out. And it also asks you whether or not you have a disability, so you can select as appropriate there. The second section of the application form relates to your education, so it documents in detail your secondary education. If you've no secondary education, you can select not applicable there. But it's important that we have, that the application form reflects the wealth and breadth of your education to date. So I would be suggesting that certainly you don't leave anything blank. Obviously, if you haven't engaged in secondary education, that's fine, you don't have that, but have a look and think about all of the education you've engaged in previously and make sure that it's documented on the form. It's very, very important. The second section then is looking at your highest level of education, so the highest level that you've achieved to date, or that could be your current study, so this current studies that you're engaged in. And that's particularly important when you're applying as a mature student, because we're very, very interested to know what you're studying now or what you've studied in the recent past, particularly if it's related to the course that you're applying for. And then other relevant education. There's a section there for relevant education. So that might be if you're applying to do English here, maybe you did some creative writing classes or you attended some extramural programs here in college, that could be put in under relevant education. Or if you did some work-related education, again, that's something you might include there. We do ask in this section for English language proficiency, so we'll be asking you, it's an admissions requirement in college if English is not your first language to fulfill an English, to show that you're proficient in the language. Again, I'd ask you to check out the Mature Student Guidelines for details on that. And I just said there, include all relevant details. It's really important that you don't leave anything out. It's important that, as I said, that this reflects the wealth and breadth of your education to date. It is a very competitive process, so you must complete it to the best of your ability. The third section of the online application supplementary form is experience. So we look at employment. So you must outline your employment in chronological order and the full title of your post and the responsibilities that you held. And it's important that we have a really good insight into what you've been doing over the past number of years, what you've been working at, particularly if it's relevant to what you're applying for. If it's not relevant, we're still interested to know. So again, full job title so that we know exactly the job you held and the responsibilities. Other activities, if you engage in voluntary work, for example, we'd be very, very interested to hear about that. If you're doing a course currently and you've been engaged in work experience as part of that programme, again, we'd be very, very interested to hear about that. And particularly, again, if it's relevant to what you're applying for. I think that's the key thing. If it's relevant, we would like to know about it. There's a section, additional information on section 4, it's quite brief. It says, where did you hear about the course, or where did you hear about the mature student application process? There are a couple of options there. If you contact the Mature Student Office, I got information from the Mature Student website. I'm engaged in a lot of external liaison activity. I visit a lot of further education colleges. And if I visited one of your colleges and you heard from it there, you could select that. If you came in to see me, whatever, other relevant. It's just important that we know where people are getting information from, because we can tailor our work in the future to support that. And it also asks about funding, how you're planning on funding the programme, and that you can select the relevant option there. The booklet there contains a screen grab of that particular one for you if you're interested in having a look at it. There are three kind of text parts of the application form. The first one is the personal statement. There's a section 5 is called personal statement, but it's broken down into 3 parts. There's an additional information section, and there's a 500-word max limit on that section. So additional information is really if you want to supplement any of the information that you've given previously in the application form. It could be related to maybe exam results, previous exam results, or previous courses you've undertaken. It's entirely up to you. But I would be saying that since we have our online application form and there are word limits there, I'd be really expecting mature applicants to complete 500 words for that section and not to leave any sections blank. There's a very short amount of space on the form to impart the information to the people who are going to be reviewing your application, so it's important that you complete it fully. The second written piece is what aspect of the course interests you the most. So this is a very course-specific question. So they're looking to see there, have you undertaken your research into the course? Do you know what the course is about? And again, there are 400 words there. I would be expecting that you would complete the full 400 words. And then the second one is kind of relating your life experience or your work experience to the course. So why at this stage of your life are you interested in studying psychology, or why occupational therapy or physiotherapy, whatever it is. They're looking to see, the path of life, what has brought you to this point where you're now making an application for this course. Why is that? And again, there's a 400 word limit on that section. So again, I'd be urging you to complete the 400 words. There's a declaration at the end of the application form, and I'd ask you to obviously select that to submit the application. And once you submit the application, then that's it. You will get an email confirmation, so there's no going back to check sections. As you go along, you can save it. You don't have to sit down and do this in one go. You can work on it and save it and go back to it. You've got your account, so you can just log in. But once it's gone, then that's it. Okay. So just in terms of studying here as a mature student, I think it's important to look at the type of supports that we offer as a university. My job as a mature student officer is obviously to outline the opportunities that are available for mature students in the college, but it's also to support the students who are registered here with us, and we have over 1,000 mature students studying in Trinity at the moment. And those students would see me as a support for them. If they have any issues, they contact me, and we have a personal tutor system in college as well. The personal tutor is a great support. We have a lot of academic supports. I had a lot of questions this morning about what type of academic supports are available. We do have a lot of academic support, and for mature students specifically, we have a writing resource centre. So if you're doing a course where writing forms a large part, if you're doing history or English and you're looking for help with essays, we have a writing resource centre. It's based down in the Trinity Access programmes, and people can get one-to-one advice and support there in terms of essay writing. We've got a maths help desk, again a one-to-one support for people who are doing maths as part of their programme. Our counselling service is involved in learning. It has a learning development unit, and they run lots of different programmes throughout the year to support the learning of our students. We have a health centre on campus. I don't know if any of you have seen it. We have a disability service, which is just practically opposite the door here of this lecture theatre. We have a careers service, and we have a creche on campus as well. So we have a lot of supports in college, and part of my job, as I said, is supporting mature students. And during the summer, when the CAO offers go out in July time, I run a Getting Organised seminar then towards the end of July, where we look at things like finance and childcare and all the practical issues that need to be resolved before you start college. And then in September time, I run a 1-week-long orientation programme for mature students. So before college starts, we bring all of our new incoming mature students, our new entrants in, and we work for the week here in college. This year we had 180 mature students take part in our orientation programme. It's an opportunity for you to meet other mature students. It's an opportunity for you to meet the support staff in college. It's an opportunity to learn how to use the library before it gets really, really busy, and the information systems in college. So it's really, really beneficial and very, very worthwhile, and the students really, really enjoy it. And when they finish, then they start college proper the following week. So I'm going to stop there because we have a few minutes. We have about 5 minutes.